Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. Alright, you guys, peep game. Alright, more disturbing details have came out in regards to former slain NBA basketball star Lorenzen Wright, who was killed in 2010 mysteriously, while sitting in his car attempting to call the police. He was shot several times, including the head, the chest, and the arm, by two different guns. Apparently, this was a cold case, but the police received a tip, about a gun that was was in a river. They ended up recovering the gun, and it was the murder weapon used to kill Lorenzen Wright. And the police, recently arrested Lorenzen Wright's ex-wife and her boyfriend, and they were charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and several counts of attempted murder. Now, shout out to Tell It Like It Is TV. Apparently, his ex-wife tried to kill him on more than one occasion. And I'm going to tell you something. This lady is an animal. This lady is a despicable person. She is a piece of shit. Now, we already know that the mainstream media is not going to drag her name through the mud, because, keep in mind, this is just a black dude that got killed. You know what I'm saying? Now, this should be a big-time story, but they're barely talking about this. But this should be a big-time story because his wife has been arrested. Now, one of the disturbing things about this, now, it took the police a while to find, Lorenzen Wright's body. They had to use cell phone towers and, up-to-date technology to locate him. And when they found him, his body was decomposing. So you know what that means. The car smelled really bad. If you look hard enough, you can find a 911 call where he was trying to attempt to call the police, and you could hear the gunshots, him actually being killed. Now, what I find disturbing is that his wife possibly killed him for a $1 million insurance policy. Lorenzen Wright had 6 children with this woman. 6 children. And the disturbing part about his wife was where she met her accomplice at. She met him at church, of all places. Not the club, not the mall, you know what I'm saying? Not the supermarket, you know what I'm saying? Not the movie theater. She met this dude at church. So I would definitely like to know what church they met at so I can know not to go to that church. Maybe it's the same church Ray Lewis goes to. Who knows? But this is disturbing. This is a person that was sitting up in church every week knowing that she had her husband murdered, allegedly. Her ex-husband. You know who suffers in all this? The children. She had 6 children with this man. Do you know what these children are going through? Finding out that their mother possibly had something to do, you know what I'm saying, with the death of their father. Now, I know what she may try to do. She may try to say, well, he used to beat me and all that stuff, but you guys were divorced. So apparently he moved on. So why would you know what I'm saying? Because no telling what she gonna try to do. Now, this woman is supposed to be in a wheelchair. Whether it's sincere or not, whether she's really to the point to where she needs a wheelchair, that's beyond me. That's not really my place to decide. But I will tell you this. They do have the death penalty in the state of Tennessee. She is supposed to be expedited back to the state of Tennessee, I guess. Because I think she was currently living in California. But I guess she went out there and murdered him. Now, keep in mind, they said that he was shot with 2 different guns. So, either the murderer had 2 different guns, which that doesn't make sense. A hitman gonna only have 1 gun. What do he need 2 guns for? So basically what they're saying is that those 2 shot him. And if you seen how this woman looked cold-blooded too. She looked mean too. And the funny part about it is, as far as her overall looks, she is as basic as you can get. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't like to use the word ugly, you know, to refer to women and all that type of shit, because that's not, I'll just try not to use words like that. That's not a cool word to use. I'll just say she's not very attractive. And that's fact. When I say she's as plain Jane as you can get, that she is the epitome of plain Jane. I don't know, maybe she must have had Pearl or something. Her shit must have been good as fuck, because he did have 6 children with her. So maybe that's what it was. But nevertheless, this lady allegedly made several attempts on his life. What I don't understand about Lorenzen Wright, dude made a solid amount of money in the NBA. Why didn't he just hire, you know, security, armed security? Or why didn't he carry some kind of weapon on him? You know, I don't know if Tennessee is an open carry state, but you just wonder a lot of things what happened. But yes, this lady was sitting up. What's so disturbing about it? This lady was sitting up in church every weekend. You know, sitting up in church knowing that she possibly did something like this. And then going home to look in the eyes of the children that her and Lorenzen Wright produced and had. Knowing that she possibly had something to do with the death of, you know, her kid's father. That shit is just sick. She is a mentally disturbed person. And that, I mean, when I say you don't get no more sickening than that, I mean, this lady, something is seriously wrong with her. And she is the epitome of pure evil. She is just an evil person. I remember I saw an interview that she did when he was first murdered. And one dude flat out asked her, well, did you have anything to do with his death? She didn't exactly say yes or no. She sort of like talked around it. Saying, well, the police need to do what they need to do to find, you know what I'm saying, the killer. Well, I guess they found the alleged killer, which is you and that nigga. Now, getting to the nigga, something wrong with that simp ass nigga for letting a woman be able to influence him to the point to where he willing to kill for love. Love and money. That's just insane. You know what I'm saying? And I really wish the media would cover this better than what they're doing. They've talked about it, but you know, it's not been to the extent of, you know what I'm saying, like shit like OJ and all that type of shit. But I do think this is a big time story, because Lorenzen Wright was part of the NBA, and you know, he's no longer here. So yeah, I hope, you know, for the sake of, you know, Lorenzen Wright's children and his mother, you know, when she found out, she was like, they got her, and it kind of makes you wonder, did Lorenzen Wright's mother suspect she was behind it? Keep in mind, when somebody miraculously turns up dead, the wife or the husband is always a suspect. So I think they was on her all along, but they just didn't have enough evidence. But apparently enough evidence showed up to where they could make an arrest. So like I said, I really feel bad for his children. This is just, it's very sad to hear about something like this. You know, you have to wonder what's going on through the children's mind right now, and I feel really bad for them, and I hope they can find a way to mentally get through this, because this is the type of shit that can just, send you on a mission to nowhere. You have to wonder, how will these kids react to this? How are they reacting? What's their state of being? And I hope they are okay. I really do hope that his 6 children are okay, which more than likely they're not. But anyway, that's all I had to say about that, man. As I said before, this shit is very disturbing. It's just really, I'm out.